So hi everyone, my name is Daniel. I am the data scientist at Traders with Edge. I look after managing the challenges and all the traders, and I also do all the data scientist, data analyst work behind the business. Plus I do some customer support from time to time. So if you guys are ever on our webpage and decide to go onto the live chat and see Daniel, that's probably me. Well, that is me actually. I've been working with Samuel for almost 3 years now in Traders with Edge and our other company, Symbiosis Capital. But that's enough about me, really. Let me introduce you to our CEO, Samuel, who is sitting right next to this way, right next to me. Samuel founded Traders with Edge around a year ago. And over the past 20 years, he has started and built 6 other companies, including Symbiosis Capital. That is our sister company. Today, I've managed to book a time slot in his busy schedule so that you guys can ask him anything about prop trading or getting funded, so that we don't end up with someone who has high background noise disturbing this chat. What we will do is, if you guys send your questions through to me on our on the Zoom chat, I will read them out to Samuel as we go along. I also have some other questions that were submitted by people who couldn't join us today, so I'll read those along as well. And finally, at the end of this webinar, Samuel will be sharing a really big update about something we are rolling out in about 3 weeks. So you guys will be the lucky first people to know what's happening. So without further ado, here's Samuel.
Thank you, Daniel. All right, well, let's get stuck into it. So I guess what we'll do first is we'll do a bit of Q&A. So if you guys have any specific questions, just pop them in the chat pad down on the bottom right-hand corner, and we can go through and answer them. And like Daniel said, we'll share an update later. And yeah, we'll just see where we can take it from here, guys. You know, I just want to run these things to be, you know, we want to be very transparent. That's who we are at Traders with Edge. It's what we do with everything that we do. And treating this like an opportunity to connect with the community and get to understand you guys better. How can we assist you in your trading journey? Because the whole reason why we built Traders with Edge is to take part-time traders who might be struggling, maybe they're struggling with time, maybe they're struggling with strategy or consistency, or maybe they're struggling with capital. They don't have enough capital to leave. I mean, if you've got a $500 balance, then no matter where you live in the world, it's pretty hard to make a full-time living from trading. So that's the whole reason why Traders with Edge exists, is to help traders make the shift from part-time trader to, you know, full-time professional. And I realize not everyone on the call wants to do that. Some people just want to do it as a hobby as well. But that's why Traders with Edge exists. So have we got any questions there to start with?
Just so that everyone is clear, when you have a question, make sure that you send it to me and not Samuel, so that I can read it out for you guys. In the meantime, while you guys are thinking up some questions for our CEO, I have some other questions that were already submitted to us.
I do have one come through to me here actually too.
Oh, did you want to start off with that one then?
Yeah, sure. So is the prop firm regulated? So currently we're not regulated. We don't need to be. Where our company's set up, there's really not much regulation for prop firms worldwide at this stage. I think that it's naive to think that there won't be regulation at some point with the massive explosion of prop firms over the last, 2 years really is when they've mainly exploded on the scene. The prop firm model has been around for 20 odd years. And technically you don't need to be regulated because you're not offering financial services. But I think that the regulatory bodies will come out at some point and try to regulate the space. We definitely will be getting regulated when there's actually a license that will be available for our type of business model. Because currently the licenses that exist and the regulation framework that we know about don't fit our business model. So they don't actually cover us anyway. So it's not like we could go out and get a license. Some people are getting a license, like a brokerage license, essentially, or coming under someone else's license. But, you know, it's not, like I say, it's not mandatory right now. And there isn't actually a specific license for prop firms.
Great. I also have a question from one of our community members. It says, do you run hedge funds or something like that in your company?
Similar to that. So our sister company, Symbiosis Capital, which has been running for maybe more years now. That's originally where we started looking at the prop firm model. So we were running that model. That company was purely algorithmic based. And so we build the strategies, you know, come up with the design, essentially build them, back test them, forward test them on live funds, and then you can put them on clients' funds and actually trade with them. So that process takes a long time and a lot of money to be able to do. And so that's what got me thinking about the prop firm model it's probably about the start of last year. So about a year and a half ago, got me thinking about this business model. Okay, can we attract a lot more strategies a lot sooner without spending so much time and money to actually develop out a strategy? I mean, sometimes it could take 12 months just to be able to build a strategy, back test it, forward test it, go through the whole process where you get to a point where it's, you know, you're comfortable in rolling it out on live funds. Yeah.
Do you operate on live or demo account funding, and where does those funds come from?
So all of the challenges are done on demo accounts for obvious reasons. Then once people are funded, we connect those demo accounts to our live funds. So we have one big master account, and all of the trades get pushed into there. So some prop firms, I think they issue individual accounts, but the reality is not everyone trades all of the time and uses all of the margin requirements. So we consolidate it into one big account, and then all of those demo accounts, trades are pushed into that one account, and then we manage them from there. It's a lot easier from a risk management perspective as well to manage our risk, because we can see what our exposure is long and short, because inevitably you get people going, you know, long euro and short euro at the same time. So it's just a more efficient system. But for all intents and purposes, everyone's on a demo account. It helps us manage our risk. If anyone breaches the maximum drawdown rules, or something goes crazy during a news event, if the broker happens to freeze for some period of time, like over a news event, or some high, what do you call it, like high impact event where there's a lot of, what's the word for it? a lot of activity within the market. You know, the bots are coming in and they're just hammering the market. Sometimes the broker's servers pause. So that's why we've got that second tier of risk management in place.
Do you have the capacity to actually give millions of dollars in real account to profitable traders?
Absolutely. So through our company, as I mentioned, we've got Symbiosis Capital. We have investors coming in through there. And we're also setting up a number of other partnerships. So I can't speak about specifically who at the moment, but we're working on some partnerships with companies that have been around for 17 to 20 years in the funding space. So we're talking about like other traditional prop firms who have, you know, 400 or 500 desks in a building somewhere, and they are always looking for new traders. So we're also partnering with them. Plus, we also have the institutional connections, which we don't leverage their capital at the moment, and we don't introduce people to them right now. We've got very specific criteria as to what they're looking for, and one of them is a minimum 2-year track record on live funds of managing at least $1 million. So if someone has that track record, then we can make introductions to those larger institutional clients. So in terms of having the backing, absolutely we can scale up. The reason why we have our coming soon on a couple of our larger plans right now is purely from a risk management thing. We're not pretending to be, a prop firm that's been around for, 5-6 years like FTMO has. We're not, we're not pretending to do that. And we're also very conscious of our risk. You've probably all seen prop firms come out and they disappear within, 6 months, some even as little as 3 months. The reason why they blow up is because they don't know how to manage their risk. So we're probably more on the conservative end of let's start small and lock in our wins and then scale, as we prove things out. So realistically, we could go and open up all of those plans right now, but I think there's too much risk for our company as a whole. There's too much risk for our traders if we just did that. And let's say we get 10 people come in on $1 million account, they somehow manage to pass, and they're not trading properly. They, use arbitrage or some other means of manipulating it, and we actually put them on live funds and they have a huge loss because they're just gamblers. They're not actually traders. That puts not only us as the company at risk, but also puts all of our other funded traders at risk as well. So that's why we haven't rolled that out at the moment. Our preference right now is to bring in as many traders on smaller accounts as possible and diversify our risk, and then we'll start opening up the other, the higher tiers. We've also got some other exciting stuff coming, which is also part of the reason why we haven't opened up all those higher tier plans at the moment, which I'll speak about in a little bit.
Awesome. How sure is it that people will always receive payment in the coming years? I think that kind of ties in with what you just talked about.
Pretty much. I mean, look, probably no one will tell you this at a prop firm or any business for that matter. The truth of the matter is there is no guarantees, right? It's like there's no guarantees in the market. So our job as a prop firm is to find good traders, recruit them, help train them, and improve their consistency. And probably 50% of the business is managing the risk of all of those traders. So like a hedge fund or any other type of fund manager, our primary objective is to manage the risk. And you see even the best of the best people lose their shirts. You see like I won't say Ray Dalio because he hasn't, but that kind of level fund manager, they've been a fund manager for 30 years and they still blow up their businesses sometimes. So for me to sit here and tell you 100% it's guaranteed, like you're always going to be paid, it would actually be a lie. So I'm not going to tell you that. Look, we've got the capital there, we've got the risk management in place, we've got a pretty intelligent team to manage it, and we're in this for the long game. And this is why some people say to us, "Oh, your rules suck. Like, why do you have, you have to put a stop loss in place? That's a stupid rule. Like, I trade without a stop loss." It's like, well, you probably haven't been trading that long if you don't see any value in putting a stop loss in place. And I'm not saying this to offend anyone, right? I'm just saying that if you look at the best, most consistent fund managers in the world, they abide by certain principles of not reaching certain drawdowns on a daily or a total drawdown, managing their lot size. A lot of them will not hold trades. Excuse me. A lot of them will not hold trades over the weekend. When it comes to stocks, some of them will not hold trades overnight. And so I'm kind of getting off track here a little bit, but what I'm saying is that it all comes down to risk management. And the reason why we have that in place is because we want to be in this game still in 10, 20 years from now. There are some prop firms out there that you've probably seen. They'll give you 1 to 200 leverage. They say you can hold your trades over the weekend with no stop loss. Not that stop loss helps over the weekend anyway, but you get my point, right? It's like they basically say You do whatever you want, you have massive leverage, and the reality is they don't put anyone on live funds. So what they do is they just make the offer really, really attractive for people to go in, and inexperienced traders come in and they say, oh, I'm going to get 1 to 200 leverage from this prop firm. I don't get it from Traders with Edge. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to place this gigantic position, and I'm going to gamble. And if I win, then I'm going to make a bunch of money. And if I don't, that's not our style. The regulators, going back to the previous question that we had about regulators, the regulators are going to come down on those prop firms first, and they're going to come down really hard, because they know that, you know, you don't get funded on day one when you haven't proven yourself. You've just gone in and placed like 100 lot trade and got lucky. So they're going to get in trouble with regulators if they don't blow up first. Look at what happened to funding talent, right? So they were not putting anyone on live accounts. The regulators came and they said, are you actually putting people on live accounts? And they said, oh, yes, we are. They then had to put people on live accounts, and they didn't have the capital. And all those people that they had really easy challenges for that had passed couldn't trade, and they lost all their money. And so in the end, all the traders didn't end up getting paid out. So, and that's a really long question to a long answer to a short question, but I hope you kind of understand where we're coming from. We're doing absolutely everything we can with this business to make sure that we're still around in 10, 20 years time. But like I say, I would be lying if I sat here and told you that 100% guarantee, because there is no guarantee. Like, look at what's happened with COVID in the whole world in the last 2 years. You know, what used to apply doesn't apply anymore in terms of business or regulation. You know, even what the governments are saying these days, you know, they've broken so many promises over the last couple of years to us. Can you really believe that there's any guarantees in life anymore? And I don't want to sound negative or conspiracy theorist, but I'm just kind of talking from a realistic kind of point of view.
Question.
Sure.
Do you really give 30 million USD to manage if someone trading 2 years with if someone manages to trade consistently for 2 years?
Yeah, so as I started to mention before, we don't give 30 million in capital directly to the trader, but we have contacts at larger institutions. So one of our very close contacts who we're working with at the moment, and you'll actually see more of him probably in about a month to 2 months, he's going to be coming out with a course. He used to be a trader at a bank, a very large bank, and he used to be a manager there, managing all of the traders and managing all of their risk. So we're going to come up with coming up with a course with him, but he also has a number of contacts in very large institutions. We're talking like billions and billions of dollars, and they're always looking for good traders that can produce consistent results. I can tell you the key. So to be clear on that point, Traders with Edge won't fund $30 million, but our partners will. I can tell you now the key that they're looking for is consistency and low drawdown. They don't care as much about the upside as what they do with the drawdown. It sounds completely backwards, but when people start out with funds management or trading, and they've got a small account, then they want to make as much as possible. They want to make aggressive, really aggressive returns. What happens is, as you move up the spectrum from someone who's got $500 in their account to a massive fund that has billions and billions of dollars, along that spectrum, the risk tolerance goes down and it actually flips. So you reach a tipping point where the people that have billions of dollars, the number one thing they want to know is you're not going to lose their money. They don't care about the return. If you can't answer that question about how you're not going to lose their money, they will not talk to you about what your returns are. So it seems really backwards to most people, particularly, you know, if you're not already managing millions of dollars. but that's literally how this industry works. So yeah, we will make the introductions, and we're incentivized to make the introductions as well, because they will give us a finder's fee if we've actually brought good traders in and we've helped improve them, we've improved their risk management, and they are, and they're trading consistently and profitably. So we can then introduce them. They might give us a small finder's fee if we find the right type of trader for them, and they will fund you with 30 million or more. We actually put 30 million on our website because when we put more, people didn't believe us at all. They said, that's ridiculous. There's no way you can get that much funding. And the reality is that actually the funding is out there. But I understand too that it doesn't seem realistic. I mean, even 30 million might be a stretch for some people. But so yes, absolutely, we can we can connect you to the right people, but we will not be funding you directly with 30 million ourselves.
I totally understand that. I get questions about the 30 million in the live chat all the time. People saying, that's not realistic. Imagine what people would be saying if we had a larger amount in there, which is totally possible, but just from a.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys think that it's unrealistic and that it's all BS or something, put it in the chat. Like, we want the feedback. This is why we're running these calls as well. I'm here to answer any of your questions and also take feedback and suggestions, because I know if we stay humble and we just listen to what you guys want and girls want, then we're going to make one of the best prop firms out there, and that's our goal. Our goal is not to go out there and there's some people and they're bragging about, oh, we had 5,000 payouts this month, and we paid out like hundreds of thousands of dollars to this bloke and that bloke. That's not what we're about. It's about how do we build a consistent, reliable way of bringing in and nurturing traders to improve their profitability and consistency, so that we then have a really stable group of traders that we can rely on and continue to fund them, because there's a lot more, I guess, upside in it than the short-sighted, bring people in, put them on a demo account, let them all lose, and then you make money, which is unfortunately how a lot of the industry works.
Definitely. How do you guys plan on creating and keeping a good reputation so you guys can stick around for the long run?
What was the first part? How do
you guys plan on creating and keeping a good reputation so you can
creating? Sorry, I didn't hear that word. Look, I think it comes down to just doing the right thing by people. I've been in business personally like 20 something years now, and there's probably no one out there that will say, oh, Samuel, did the wrong thing by me, he didn't pay me, he like ripped me off, that guy's a bastard, or something like that. There's just not. And if you do the right thing by people, and not everyone's going to be happy. Some people are going to hit their daily drawdown limit, or they don't understand the rules, they don't bother reading the rules, and they get stocked out. It's not our fault. It's black and white what we've provided. So some people will be annoyed and inevitably leave bad reviews or talk negatively about us. But at the end of the day, I believe if we keep doing the right thing by people and be transparent and honest, then that's the best thing that you can do for your reputation going forward. And on that point, what I want people to know also on the call, I don't want to bash other firms, especially not specifically. There are firms out there that use Trustpilot and they're getting thousands and thousands of reviews. So some people look at us and they say, well, you guys don't have thousands of reviews, so you must be, you're not good, or you're too small, you don't know what's going on in the market. With Trustpilot, anyone can leave a review for a business on Trustpilot. You can also go and buy fake reviews on, for people to leave reviews for you on Trustpilot. Our reviews system is integrated with our website, and so it checks that the person who's leaving the review has actually gone through the checkout on our website and purchased something. That's not someone that's been paid $20 to go and leave a review. So yeah, anyway, like I said, I'm not here to bash competition. I just want to wake people up to what actually happens in the industry, and that everything that you see is not necessarily as true as you might believe. I've got a couple questions on my chat here that I should probably get to. I'm not sure if you can see the questions that come through to me or not.
No, I can't.
There's one there from Siva. Could you please consider lowering the targets for phase 1 and phase 2, I think it is, on the hair account? Most of the firms have their targets at 8 and 4%. Yeah, it's something that, you know, we're open to feedback on. We modeled our hair off FTMO, and then we made some slight improvements to it. We're certainly open to that. And if you stick around to the end, I've got some, well, what we think is some really interesting and valuable news for people to that's related to that specifically. So I'm not trying to not answer your question, Siva. I'm just saying that, yeah, I totally acknowledge that, and we're open to it. At the end of the day, we're a business, and we're in, you know, we're in business to survive and thrive. So as long as we can make a model that still works at the end of the day, and we're properly screening traders that come in, and we're not just letting anyone in that, you know, just wants to place a 100-lot trade and hope they get lucky. As long as we can build any financial model around that that manages our downside risk and has enough profit in it for the trader as well, we're happy to do that. So if you guys have got an idea that's not even out there in the marketplace in prop firm land at the moment, we're open to hearing that, and we'll review it. And Daniel helps me with you know, building these spreadsheets that are, you know, ridiculous sizes, just so that we can calculate all of this stuff, and, you know, and make sure that we're, like I say, we're managing our risk and that it's going to work out for everyone. So by all means, we'll take your feedback and see what else we can do. And like I say, the update that I'm going to mention a bit later will also be related to that as well.
Did you have another question on your end, Samuel?
Actually, I've got a couple. Maria was just asking which email can you send it to? Just send it to support@traderswithedge. That's just like, we just have one mailbox and everything goes in there, and something, you know, things that are you know, need to come to me will come to me, and things that need to go to certain people, yeah, you'll find different people will answer different types of tickets. So Maria was also asking, thank you for Zoom session. We have today. My question is, there are scalpers getting in for less than 1 minute and being profitable and trade for 1 hour a day. How are those traders accommodated? If you've got a consistent strategy that's scalping, that's not arbitrage, we're happy to look at it. The most difficult part, and why we have our 1 minute holding rule in place, is because some people try to use arbitrage, or they just open and close a lot. And remember that we have to copy the trade from the demo account into the live funds. And so where some strategies just don't work is where people open a trade and close it instantly, because by the time it's opened, and we're talking like milliseconds here, but by the time it's opened on our live funds, the trade's closed on the demo. If it's such a short period of time, then it's obviously not profitable. If we can't make money off the funds that we're funding people with, then we can't pay people out from it. So, I mean, if you want to submit your trading account, if you've got a demo, you know, just from a broker, and you wanted to submit a demo account to Daniel, and just say, hi, Daniel, in the ticket, it'll go to him. Then he can review it and see and say, okay, well, you're not holding trades very long, but we think we can copy those. So we're more than happy to look at that in that case. We just have that rule around like I say, around the 1 minute rule, purely so that we can filter out people that are trying to use arbitrage to pass when it's not going to be profitable when we put it on live funds, and it's just flat out cheating. I'm just seeing she's got quite a long message, so I'm reading the rest of it. Some people.
Sorry, I just want to hop in. I think our trading rule is 30 seconds, not 1 minute.
Okay, yeah. So then some people. I'm not sure what the second part. Not sure about the second part, or if it was just kind of a comment, Maria. But if you like to elaborate on it, I'm happy to answer it. Okay, great. Thank you, Maria. Yeah, let's continue on. If you've got any others, Daniel.
Yeah, so I've got one from Adamola. So apart from the referral contest where 3 people win 50K accounts, challenge accounts, do you guys have any other plans or programs for people who can't afford to buy an account?
Yeah, so something that we haven't rolled out, we haven't really even mentioned this in the community at all yet, is we will have trading competitions coming out soon. It's just we have so many big milestones that we're rolling out at the moment. You all probably saw that we just rolled out the community section on the website. We rolled out 2 phone apps. Like, there's a heck of a lot of work that goes into that, and then we've got to bug test it, and then inevitably we find stuff to improve. We've also got like a huge roadmap of stuff that we're adding in there. So we actually have the technology built for running trading competitions specifically for that. I mean, we know there's traders, in developing countries that can't afford necessarily the bigger plans. We want to be helping those traders and supporting those traders because we know it can absolutely change people's lives. And there are good traders out there who, they might not be able to afford it, but they might actually be a good trader. So we will roll those out. Like I said, it comes down to juggling priorities at the moment. Daniel will attest to this, that we have so many different things rolling out and new stuff coming that it's just a matter of priority and trying to juggle what's going to be the most benefit for everyone. And, also managing it from a technical perspective. We've only got a certain amount of developers, so we've got to manage their time wisely as to where we're putting the focus.
Just while you're on this topic, did you want to mention the point system that we have in our community?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Well, I guess you could talk to that.
Okay, well, we actually have a point system in place with our community where our community members who are engaging within the community, creating posts, leaving replies, just being active, they get rewarded points, and these points can then be used as discounts for our currently existing challenges. So you can receive up to 50%. I think it is. I'm pretty sure 50% of the challenge price using the points that you earn from our community.
Yeah. So if you have a look on the points, maybe you can drop I don't know if you can put a link in the chat, Daniel. But if you go under what's the tab on the site called? Over on the side, it's community leaders, and then underneath that is get points. And so you can actually earn points. We've gamified the whole community. We haven't really announced this. I mean, I think we put it in a video somewhere. But if you're consistently contributing to the community, if you're making blog posts, just having proper discussions in the forum, each time you do that, you'll earn points within the community, and then you can use those points to pay for challenges and other stuff that we'll be rolling out in the near future. Okay, what else? Have we got any other questions?
Yeah, I'll just read out one that we received previously. Just because you talked briefly about our phone app. when on my mobile, there's a pop-up app on the website to download the phone app. What's that for?
Okay, so the that pop-up you're seeing is the phone apps. And then if you go to the Google Play or App Store, you download the app, and it's just a way to be able to access the website. So you can access your, not your trader's dashboard if you're taking a challenge. That's separate, sits on a separate server, but anything within the community, so you can interact with any discussions. You can access your My Account, so see any previous purchases. You can access the points in there, access the affiliate stuff. So if you're an affiliate and you wanted to promote us, your affiliate links in there. So instead of having to go to the website, it's just a better user experience if you're on a mobile. We realize that probably 60% of people on our website are on mobile. So that's why we built the phone apps. So it just makes a smoother user experience.
Awesome.
Have we got much else there? Because we've been going for about 40 minutes now.
Yeah, I do have a couple more questions, but we are nearing our 40-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, if people need to go, they can go. We'll continue until we answer everyone's questions, though.
Okay, so then how much does your affiliate program pay?
So our affiliate program starts off at 8%. So if someone, as soon as they've signed up as an affiliate, they can go and get their affiliate link. And if they want to refer someone, they can. They'll receive 8% of anything that that person spends with us. One of the updates I may as well just say now is that we will be rolling out courses from various educators and mentors coming out soon. They'll probably be within the next 2 months. So we've got a whole course platform built within our platform, I guess. So within the community, there'll be a section for courses, and we'll have various different mentors in there, some free, some paid. I'm actually working on a course right now, which we'll probably give to you guys anyway, just to see what you think, get some feedback, and then we'll start selling it. What was I saying? I completely lost my train of thought.
The affiliate program.
Oh, the affiliate program. Thank you. I got distracted by people joining. Yeah, right. So it's based on volume. So the more volume that you refer, then the higher percentage we'll pay. So it starts out at 8% and then it goes up to, I think it's 15, and then it ends up being 20%. So if you're sending a bunch of people there, if you've got a blog or a YouTube channel or any other means of sending traffic to us, and people are spending money, then that's money that we wouldn't have to spend on advertising like with Google or Facebook. So we pay that to our partners, to our affiliates. So up to 20% of anything that people pay.
Yeah. I've got one last question, but since people are still joining in, I just want to mention, if you guys want to ask Samuel anything, then just send me a message while I read out this last question, and I'll see if we have time for Samuel to answer them. So the last question that I have is, I've seen mentioned online that you have instant funding plans available. Is this true? And when will they be available?
So this is another big thing that we've been working on, and we're going to be rolling out, I think it's about 3 weeks from now. So you guys are the first to learn about this. We've been working on the instant funding models for quite a while. Like I said, we've got a lot of competing priorities right now, but we will be rolling out instant funding models by, I think it's around the second or third week in September. So we do have instant funding model that's coming. So is that it for the questions for now?
That's all the questions that we have today.
The other updates I had was, one, if you were involved in the giveaway that we ran and you were earning points for sharing things, you would have got a discount code. Just make sure you use them. I think they expire next week if you do have that.
Yeah.
And the other big piece of exciting news. Well, we think it's exciting anyway. It'd be great to get your feedback on it. Anyone that's on the call or watching the recording after, is we have been modeling the ability for people to be able to come through and customize their challenge. So you could take a turtle challenge, for example, and then potentially add, and don't quote me on this because we're still polishing a few things. We've still got to make sure that it will work from a risk perspective. But let's say you wanted to take a turtle challenge and then you wanted to make the drawdown 10% instead of 5%. You could pay a little bit extra and then do that. We've actually got a list of things. I don't have them on me. Do you know where?
Yeah, I can bring it up.
Add. I've got so many tabs open, sorry. Actually, I have them here. So I'll just run through them rapid fire to give you an idea. As I said, don't hold me to it because we're not sure if all of them are going to work from a risk perspective, but it's our intention to make it so that you guys or anyone else that wants to take a challenge will be able to customize their challenge to suit their trading style. So I'll run through them rapidly. Like I said, they're not guaranteed that we'll be releasing all of them, but I'd love to hear your feedback on what's important to you. We've got increase the max drawdown, increase the daily loss, remove the daily loss limit entirely, reduce minimum days, reduce the profit target, remove the trailing stop, no stop loss at all, increase the leverage, the ability to hold over a weekend on a hair account, and increase your profit share by 10%, and the ability to change a trailing stop to a static stop. So it takes a lot of thought and planning and technical ability to be able to pull this off, but we think we're getting close to be able to do it. Like I said, we've just got to finalize a few things from a risk perspective on how we're actually going to manage it. And some of them may not be available, but this is what we're thinking right now. So if you guys think that it's something that you would love to hear your feedback on what's important to you, or do you just think it's a bad idea altogether and it's better just to go and work with the challenges that we have. Love to know your feedback, because then we'll save a lot of time not going down this path any further if it's not of interest to you at all. So if you've got any feedback, I'd love to hear about it. Like I mentioned, the courses, we will have courses coming out. That will probably be towards the end of September, October. We'll have various courses, as I mentioned, some free, some paid, with various mentors. And they'll not just be courses where you can go and buy a course and you're left on your own. There will be courses plus hand-holding mentoring with different mentors to focus on different things. So some might be, if you think, okay, you might need to focus more on your risk management, your strategy might be great, but you're consistent and then you blow up your account. Well, maybe you need to focus on your risk management more. So we'll have people dedicated to help improve that element of your trading. And they'll run live calls like this with you and can dissect your trades and look at them and say, okay, well, have you thought about this? Have you got this in place? What does your trading plan look like? So that is all coming, and it should all be rolled out by the end of the year at the latest. Okay, do we have any feedback or any other questions before we wrap up?
I don't think so. That's about it.
Thank you, Maria. Appreciate your feedback. Have a great day. Anyone else? I just want to say thanks, guys. I really appreciate your time. Like I said, we want to make this one of the best prop firms. And like I said, best prop firm to us doesn't mean we've got the most traders come through. It's about quality and making sure that we have a sustainable business and we can help as many people as possible. You think about if we have a trader from a developing country come through and they can completely change their life and their family's life by learning, like improving their trading, getting funded. Well, that's a pretty special thing, I think, to be able to fund people, help them on their trading journey, and they can make an income that is far exceeds anything that they'd be able to make. Then I think that's a good thing.
Definitely.
Thank you, Adamo. Appreciate your feedback.
I also wanted to mention that, sorry, I just wanted to mention that you also get points for making purchases in our community and on the website. So then you can use those, like if you paid for a course, you could use those points towards getting a fund, getting a challenge account.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. Fantastic. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, comments, concerns, or jokes, then I think we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, you guys can reach us at using our contact form on our website, emailing us. We're like on live chat 24/5, so you guys can reach us whenever.
Brilliant. Okay. Thank you, everybody. See you later.
Guys, bye.
Bye.